everybody. No idea if this is actually working or not. I forgot about it till like 10 minutes ago. But here we are. Oh, I even forgot to get a thing. Let me get the thing. So, do you want to do another Start Your Art thing with me? With my Start Your Art cards, which you'll be able to find in the link down there. Today, because I left it till the very last minute, I thought I would do something really, really easy. And let's do line. There's the one I was thinking of doing. That's up there on the corner of the screen. So it says, find something complicated, like a toy, car, a flower in a vase, or even your own hand. Place your sketchbook. I just have paper, just computer paper and a pencil. That's all we're going to need today. Place your paper or sketchbook, if you're fancy, on your dominant side. That would be my right side. And your subject, I'm going to use my hand because it's right here, on your opposite side. Here's the key. Without looking at your paper, slowly, like a sleepy snail slow, follow the contours of your object with your eyes and let your marking tool move at the same pace. Draw in every detail, every wrinkle, every edge. So this is actually a well-known art exercise called blind contour drawing. And the thing of it is, it's not about making a drawing at all. Nothing that happens on this sheet is actually important. The thing that you're developing is the skill of seeing something clearly, right? You need to be able to see what you're looking at in a really detailed, really different way than the way we usually glance at an object and just move on. So I am going to be looking at my hand. I'm going to put it over here and my paper over here so I'm not looking at it, and I'll show you that view in a second. And I'm going to pretend my pencil is touching the edge of everything. And I'm going to go into the creases. I'm going to do a continuous line drawing. You don't have to do a continuous line drawing if you don't want to. And if I feel my pencil going off the paper, I'll just move it back onto the paper, which means you might not want to use a Sharpie on your favorite table because you might go off the paper, right? So I'm going to put my hand over here, draw it over here, but what it's about is seeing. It's not about actual drawing. So hand, but it's going to be over here. Maybe I'll put my hand here so you guys can actually see, and I'll put my paper farther over here, and I can see it in my vision, in my line of sight. But if you can, get your paper all the way out of your line of sight. So I might need to take this down. I know I'll put my hand over here. And I'm actually going to look up there. Should put my focus lock on. And I'm going to start on the edge of my arm and just go super, super slow with my eyes. There's a mole there, so I'm going to draw that in. And what I'm doing is just noticing the angles, noticing the lines. I could even draw in the textures of my skin, which is like an alligator most of the time, right? And then very, very carefully, but not carefully because I don't carefully, I don't care what the final picture comes out like. I'm not trying to draw a picture of my hand. Again, what are we doing here? What is the why behind this? What is the purpose of this exercise? It is to train your eye to be able to see what's there. Like I'm at my knuckle and I'm thinking about the angle of that change and seeing and noticing all those little different things. Oh, you know what? I learned how to train my focus lock. So I'm going to do that, maybe. Oh, no, it didn't work. I'll just try to hold really still because I really don't want to make you horribly seasick. Okay, Where was my fingers? I don't know where my fingers were. So we'll just keep going because the drawing is not what matters. So when you actually do want to try to draw things, sometimes you're a person who notices all the details, and sometimes you're a person who notices the big shapes. That's a really interesting ziggy-zaggy wrinkle there. And there's different ways of drawing. When I'm trying to draw something real, when I'm trying to sketch something the way it actually is, I'll usually start by roughing in the large shapes instead of starting with details. I know people who can draw amazing portraits by starting with the eyes, but I know when I start with the eyes, I end up with everything out of place. So I need to rough in the details first. And then it's, you know, the how to draw books that you get as a kid, and they start with a big oval and then they add different circles and shapes onto that and eventually you make smaller and smaller shapes and fill it in and you've got a picture of a horse or something. That is how I tend to draw. Okay, I'm going to go back up somewhere over here and get all the other little fingers in there that were underneath that I missed. If I'm doing a continuous line drawing, that wouldn't have worked very well, would it? Up on that inside finger. Now I'm not trying to draw shadows because they're not a line. This is the contours, the edges of something as I go. Anyway, we were talking about whether you draw shapes first or something else. Okay, so this is obviously nothing like my real hand. But here's the thing, we weren't going for that, right? Right. You agree with me? Yeah? It's a good laugh to look at this. But what happens when you're following the edge of something and noticing all the different angles, like what is this angle here? And looking at that carefully with your eye and then your pencil is following it, it's a really good way to train your eye. And it's a really good way to come up with some crazy weird designs. Like now I can look at this and say, what does it remind me of? I don't know what it reminds me of. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe I'll add some more legs over here. And maybe this is part of a body and a thorax. And I'll draw two big eyes over here and antennas. I'm just being absolutely goofy. This isn't really part of the exercise, but it's just to be totally weird, totally silly, so that I remind myself that this is not the important thing. This is what's important. The thing that is in your own eyes is what the important thing is, right? This is what the important thing is, and the connection between that and your brain, retraining your eyes to see in a different way, and connecting that with your hand, with the tool that you're using, right? So these two things are connected. And when you're going slow with your pencil, your eye goes slower. And when your eye goes slower, you notice more about your actual subject. So I really hope that you've had a fun time. Little fun, you know, send me a note, show me what crazy thing you've been working on, and let's have fun together. Let's do more of these. You can look at my YouTube channel for the past Start Your Art exercises, and we'll see you later. Hello, my name is Lyric Montgomery Kinard. I'm an artist and educator, and I want most to help you find confidence in the creativity I know you already possess. Whether that is by learning a new skill, a technique, or by learning the basic principles and elements of art. which anybody can learn. It's not that hard. Or buying supplies for the art that you already make. You can find help with all of those things if you go to my website, lyrickinard.com. I'd also love it if you subscribe to my channel and gave it a like. Go find joy by seeing the world through the eyes of an artist.